So I've been thinking a lot lately about early retirement and what that means to me. Now, before we get too far, I want to introduce myself. My name is Dustin Rabideau. This channel is starting at zero. Our goal at this channel is to document my way through financial independence, early retirement. No, I'm not so much a FIRE advocate as somebody who's using some of the principles to further my own journey into early retirement. Early retirement is going to mean something different for everybody. For myself, my journey is to 55 and a half. Now, everybody's is going to look different. There's no cookie cutter way of getting there. But I'm going to talk to you about a couple principles that may help you get along the journey. Number one, the first thing you want to do is decide what kind of lifestyle you plan on living during retirement. Now, everybody's going to be different with this also. So there is no clear-cut path on what you want to do. Some people want to sail around the world. Others want to live the RV life. For me, mine is a much more modest, simplistic way of retiring. I plan on retiring in northern Minnesota, where I am right now, and travel to see family, friends throughout the United States, and maybe abroad 1 or 2 times after retirement. Once you've kind of mapped out what your lifestyle is going to look like when you retire, you're going to move on to number 2. Number 2 is going to be figuring out your annual expenses. Everybody's going to be different on this. It's going to depend on your lifestyle. You got to take into consideration your living situation, your transportation, your travel plans, and really define what you're looking for. For myself and my wife, we're going to be looking around $60,000 annually. Now, $60,000 for some may seem like a lot, may seem like nothing to some of you other FIRE movement people, but that's going to be a good number for my wife and I to start at. Now, my job gives me a pension when I retire. Not everybody's going to have a pension, but that's going to get me from point A to point B. No, I have to make up B to C. And that is still a very large gap in order to retire early. When you finally nail down what your expenses are going to look like, you're going to do one simple thing. It's called the rule of 4, or 4% rule, as some would refer to it as. Now, it's not so much a rule as it is kind of a guideline to look at to help you get to early retirement. You're going to take your annual expenses, or what you plan on spending, multiply that by 25. That's going to give you your FIRE number. Now, I say that loosely because, again, everybody's going to be different. But if I'm doing $60,000 annually, multiply that by 25, that's $1.5 million to retire at 55 and a half. $1.5 million to retire at 55 and a half is still a lot of money. Now, my drawdown plan is 4% of that annually. That's hoping that my funds continue to produce an 8% annual growth. That's kind of how they base everything. You're drawing down 4%, hoping to continue to make 8% on the funds that are in there. And then you have the perpetual growth and you're drawing it down slowly over time. Now, taking advantage of all your tax advantage accounts is a big thing. For me, I have a Roth 401k and a traditional 401k. Now, I try and put away 20% annually. That gets me pretty close to the max every year. Now, according to the money guys, I'm in the messy middle where life is pulling you this way and that way, and I have kids and I have expenses. It's just never ending, so it's very hard to get ahead on a continuous basis. So I try my hardest to put the funds aside before they even get into my household income. That has helped me out greatly. I've seen great growth over the last 10 years in my 401ks. Now, the other thing I'm going to look at when it comes to retirement is how I can cash flow some of my annual expenses. If I can look at real estate investments that are going to feed money back into my pocket on a monthly basis, or other passive income opportunities that'll help me hit my $6,000 or $60,000 annual income for retirement. That's going to help me get from point A to point C. Remember, I got A to B, that's going to be my pension. I need B to C. So bridging A to C is my entire plan. Now, again, everybody's different. You can't watch gurus online and every FIRE person online and think that you're going to have a path laid out for you. You have to plan. Now, if you enjoyed this video today, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. I'm going to continue to put out weekly content talking about my journey to financial independence, retire early.